The CM Punk thing's a work, isn't it? It is, isn't it? Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to these some more Raw thoughts. The CM Punk thing, let's start off with that, shall we? I haven't talked about it. Yeah, I said on my Raw review last week, no CM Punk on this show, that's a bit strange. And then we found out like, the next day that the man's walked out of WWE. I didn't want to make a video on it, I didn't want to do what I'm sure Sean's views done. 99% of the YWC must do a video saying CM Punk's gone because we can't read the dirt sheets ourselves, so I simply must tell you what I think. I thought, leave it a week to see if it is actually indeed a work, and there's a little part of me that still believes that it is a work. I am probably going to get some hate for this one, but meh, I don't care, I'm speaking my mind, which is that I think it's very disrespectful to walk out of the job like that. If your contract's up in May, June, July, something around that, you can't, what you're telling me is that you can't put up with the creative for, what, another 2 or 3 months? Oh, it's so bad to earn so much money to get your big WrestleMania payday. Oh, I'm going to lose at WrestleMania Triple H. What do you do? It's not really a real victory anyway, is it? I just think it's very disrespectful to the company. I don't know, the company are idiots, don't get me wrong, I'm not supporting the company here, but to do it like that, I don't think it's a very good way of doing it, to just walk out like that. I really don't. Oh, Raw. Before we go on, you've probably noticed this video isn't in HD. There's a reason for this, and that is that my internet isn't it's got a very fast download, but a very, very slow upload, which means that a HD Raw review takes the best part of 3 hours to get online. Whereas if I record them like this, well, they don't. It's the truth of it. So what I've got to decide is the big series like the 10 years ago that you all guys absolutely loved on Saturday, the No Way Out review. Thank you, by the way. Overwhelming positive feedback for that. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, especially the originals review, which I didn't tell anyone was going to do. I was just like, yeah, they'll like this. I'm working on an outtakes vid at the moment, believe it or not. If I ever make a mistake, a little outtake, yeah, save the outtake into my outtakes vid. And one of the outtakes on that vid is me sort of looking into the camera. I did the right, play the music, and then it's the. I sit here thinking to myself out loud, going, the people will like this, won't they? Because this is one of those things that can be really funny or really shit, and everyone loved it. Not one thumbs down on the vid, which I'm so pleased about. Yeah, so the HD is going to stay on the series, but Raw and NXT reviews, they're going to be like this. Just making that little bit smaller means they get up faster, which means you get to see them faster, which is benefit. And I've never had a comment saying, I watch your vids in HD. So, you know. Yeah, the thing about CM Punk, let's just go back to that, is... what was I going to say? You're not by any stretch a massive CM Punk fan. And the thing is, I kind of understand where he's coming from, because it's quite obvious that he's been going through the motions the last 6 months. His promos haven't been up there. His matches haven't exactly been fantastic. But at the same time, I really firmly believe, see out your contract. If you've got an obligation to do, if you've signed a contract saying, I will work for you until May, for argument's sake, do it, because there's people who are coming to see you. People are paying a lot of money to see you. I respect CM Punk. I respect the fact that he's not exactly afraid to keep his opinions to himself, is he? He will tell you what he thinks, and I like that about him. But yeah, disrespectful to walk away from the company like that, in my opinion. All right. I'd love to know what you think down below. Oh, and promo, blah, blah, blah. Triple H leads the yes chance at the end of the opening promo because someone just hasn't bothered to tell us or him. Is this guy face or heel? I just don't know. 1 minute he's doing heely things, the next minute he's not, and he's leading people in the yes chance. Speaking of chants, the fans chant for Punk, and this is another bone of contention here. I don't understand why you're chanting for Punk. I just don't understand it. It's not like at the Royal Rumble where you had Daniel Bryan chants and the fans are chanting down right because we want to see Daniel Bryan. Punk quit the company. He walked out on you, the person who's chanting for CM Punk. It's not going to make Punk change his mind. It's not going to make WWE bring him out. So it's utterly fucking pointless, in my opinion. It makes me smile, but at the same time, it's like me going to a Future Shock show and chanting for CM Punk, expecting him to turn up. What's going to do? Nothing. Who's going to irritate? Everyone else. You know? And Vince is a cunt, isn't he? And he's the type of man who hears chants like that and just digs his heels and goes, well, I ain't giving them what they want. Fuck the lot of them. How's that sound? Oh, dear me. I'm hearing that people have been thrown out for chanting CM Punk. Again, I'm not sure about this, but I'm half and half. On the one hand, chanting, you freedom of speech, which you Americans all seem to love so much, and, being allowed to chant whatever you want, that's all good. Being chucked out for chanting what you want, but at the same time, you are disrupting the show. And, if you went, Lance Storm said on Twitter that if you went to a rock concert or a film, if you went to the cinema and you started being like that, you would get chucked out. So why is it different at a wrestling show? Why are people sort of up in arms? Good point, Lance. He's a good person to follow on Twitter, even though I don't, because he tweets 50,000 times a day and I've got no time for that. The Shield defeating Kofi, Langston and Ray. Amazed to see Reigns not only get busted open, but the blood be allowed to stay. That was quite amazing. Maybe we've got a repeat nowadays of 1992, where if you get busted open the hard way, you're allowed to keep it. Maybe it's that case. So just don't do Bret Hart and, not Bret Hart, Ric Flair, sorry, and deliberately blade at WrestleMania 8? Yeah, WrestleMania 8. Bret bled. Got away with it. Ric Flair, that's why I'm getting confused. Bled, clearly bladed, even though they both bladed. Anyway, Reigns hits Superman punch on Langston, sets up for the spear, but Ambrose tags himself in and hits the Bulldog Driver for the win. Reigns isn't impressed, but here's the Wyatts. They say this. Well done, you've got an exhaust pipe. Go you. Here's the Wyatts. Shield of pawns, they say, waiting for the day where they sacrifice themselves for their king, and Harper asks, is it worth it? Who's the heels in this feud? It's going to be Shield versus the Wyatts at the Elimination Chamber. Who am I meant to cheer for? Because they're both heels. No, not a clue. So, some people called the Seahawks, is it the Seahawks? I didn't care about the Super Bowl. Chanted yes after they won at the Super Bowl. Surely Vince looks at that and goes, right, we've made a fuck up with WrestleMania. Surely. If these guys are chanting yes, I don't know. Who cares? Barrett. So it's got some bad news because we all ate so much junk food during the Super Bowl. My God, I ate tons of junk food while I wasn't watching the Super Bowl. Didn't eat any junk food here. I'm fucking trying to do the DDP again, Junk food's not part of DDP yoga, I'll tell you that much. He got bad news. We won't be here next year to watch the Super Bowl because we'll all had coronaries and died. What a nice little thought that is. Cheers, Wade. But then, when he says we won't be here next year, Lawler stands up and says, hopefully, you won't be here next week. And that's that. And it's like, so does that mean these are going to have a match? Does that mean that Bad News Barrett's first feud is going to be with Jerry Lawler? Do I want to see that match? Do I fuck? Download the app, get the network. Dana White said in an interview this week that something along the lines of that if the WWE is basically saying that their net worth is £10 a month, and you sat there going thinking to yourself, yeah, I've been looking forward to the network, but when they said that, it's one of those, oh, you cunt, because it's right, isn't it? Absolutely right. Christian defeating Swagger. More blood in this one as Jack gets a busted lip. Sunset Flip gets one for Christian. He's in the Elimination Chamber, by the way. I didn't watch SmackDown on Christian's return because don't watch SmackDown. I've got better things to do on Friday nights. Zeb berates Swagger and Cesaro looks vexed. New Age Outlaws defeating Cody and Rhodes and Goldust in a cage match. Are the New Age Outlaws heels or face here? I just don't know. Two thoughts. The first one is that surely they turned heel because they wanted to get to Punk because they were setting up for the Punk versus Triple H match. Now that Punk isn't there, is there any point in the New Age Outlaws even being here? The other thing is, of course, is if they are heels, why in God's name are they still doing the opening spiel? I just don't understand. I said it was a bad idea, them getting the belts, and I completely stand by that point. I completely stand by it. Surely, them coming out, right? Oh, God, when I think about it, it's even worse that they come out first. The champions come out first. You know that bugs me at the best of times. But right, if they come out first and they do the opening spiel, oh, you didn't know, yeah? You better call somebody. Can't say ass. The badass Billy Gunn can say it there. Doesn't make any sense. But if they come out first, they cut that opening spiel, which is a babyface thing to do, yeah? The fans all chant along with it, and then Goldust and Cody Rhodes have to come out to utter silence, which means, oh, it's baffling. They've ditched the escape rule for this cage match, which is fantastic. Oh, I hope that it becomes a permanent thing. I really do. The match is decent. The thing we're all going to remember it for is the moonsault that Cody Rhodes missed. Because let's be honest, it hit the shoulder. I don't know if Road Dogg didn't catch him properly because it did look. They showed him a replay on the hard camera, and it looked like Cody was nowhere near him. It's one of those crazy things that one is. Seen reports on the TNA tour. TNA have been over in the UK recently. Angle was in a wheelchair and looked off his face on painkillers. And it's one of those, yes, don't do the moonsault off the top. You'll end up like Kurt. You know, Famous gets the win. I don't care. Titus O'Neil turned heel on SmackDown, which is good of him. And tonight holy shit, it's Zack Ryder! He doesn't get an entrance, of course, because he's a jobber, but, you know, Titus's music is pretty cool, decent. Yeah, Titus had turned on SmackDown, like I say. Speaking of turning, not that I ever wanted to see it, but did WWE just completely forget about the Brodus Clay turning on Tensai thing, and they never had the match? I tried to put this on the FSM forum the other day, and as is always the case when I post anything on the FSM forum, completely ignored. If you're a troll on the FSM forum, you can get 100 responses to watching CM Punk sucks, yeah? If I put a legitimate question, ignored. Of course it was. Anyway, Miz comes out to moan about Ryder. I don't know why. I really don't. Maybe Spaz Phoenix can tell us. Haha, oh wait, no, we can't talk about Spaz Phoenix because he thinks that if I talk about him on a vid, it means I fancy him. Just don't understand. Do your video responsibly, Spaz. It's been almost a year. Spinebuster gets win for Titus. Santino Marella versus Fandango in a dance-off. It's not actually those two. It's Fandango, for example, and Summer Day, Make Me Smile, from Santino. It's going to be Summer Rae versus a member of the audience. The member of the audience is always going to be Emma, because she's been on Raw and SmackDown in the audience this last couple of weeks. Proper chuffed that they use the NXT music and she does the dancing that she does on NXT, but naturally the commentators completely rip the piss out of her, and you're just looking at it going, oh, I hate you so much. You know, I don't work as a commentator anymore, but one of the things I always prided myself on as a commentator is that it's your job as a commentator to put over new people. You know, JBL looks like he wants the ground to open up under his feet, despite the fact that he's the NXT GM. How the fuck does that even work? Both Cole and King take the piss out of her. I'm sorry, Emma, you will not last on the main roster if this is the case. I love this bit. I thought it was great. She did exactly the same dance that she does on NXT. And you sat there going, fucking love it. Absolutely brilliant. I've got a lot of time for Emma because it's something different. I like it, the gimmick, because it's different. It's something that's not just generic wrestler number 5, you know? But fucking stupid. Absolutely stupid. Sheamus defeating Curtis Axel, which is nice for him. Batista comes out wearing a Canadian tuxedo. Fucking hey, I haven't seen one of them for a while. Before he can say anything, though, here's Del Rio. Del Rio is pissed off with him, and Batista twice tries to say, look, I don't know what your beef is here. So Del Rio attacks him, and that makes Batista go, right, if you want some, fucking come and get some. What do you do? Wyatt's defeating Truth, Woods and Dolph. Wonder if Dolph is not only in this match, but the one who takes the match-winning Sister Abigail because of that shouty promo that everyone's raving about they did on SmackDown. Shield appear on the screen. They're fully united again. Ambrose pretends to be scared. Rollins says he's delusional for thinking that they can beat the Shield at Elimination Chamber. And Reigns says they're in the Shield yard. Playtime is over. Believe that. Believe in the Shield. There we go. Back to Bray, who is laughing and says that he welcomes the war. Rusev promo, which is a good thing. Could have really done with a couple of these before the Royal Rumble when he wasn't, so it wasn't just some guy coming out. Has Lana with him, which is fantastic, like that. Some diva beats some other diva, which is lovely. AJ does commentary, which is entertaining. The match isn't in the slightest. And then our main event is Daniel Bryan defeating Randy Orton in a really, really good match. This was just because you know why, don't you? Because there was really good psychology and storytelling from the both of them. Randy Orton took a fuck ton. I mean, this match, by my count, which went 27 minutes. And the first 10 minutes at least was Bryan on the offense, which just felt very odd. It's not unusual for the babyface to get a bit of offense, is it? But then, I mean, it's just all Bryan. And it was all good because all of it was on the leg, and Orton sold it like an absolute boss. Then when Orton gained control, he spent the rest of the match working over the right arm, which is strange because in wrestling you normally work the left body part. He worked the right arm though of Daniel Bryan, and that was really, really good. I really liked that. Really good stuff. Yeah, 27 minutes this went, and then the knee that beats Cena gets the win. Oh yes, it does. And then Kane chokeslams Daniel Bryan. I don't have a clue why, to be honest. But yeah, if that was that. So yeah, we'll remember this one for the main event, and I suppose we'll remember it for the moonsault, but the rest of the show was very, very average. And a lot of things on this one actually genuinely got on my nerves, like the fans chanting for CM Punk and the commentators ripping on Emma, for example. Stupid and pointless. Like I say, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with a Raw from 1998. It's the Raw with the New Age Outlaws launching Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie in the dumpster off the stage, which is a fantastic little moment. You probably won't like what I've got to say about the rest of the show. And if you don't watch that one, I'll be back with NXT on Thursday. Thank you so much to everyone who's watching. The subscribers are starting to increase. We've got up to 1,418. Let me know if you want a Q&A. 1,500, like I said, I would. Bloody Q&As. I'm Mark P. Let me know what you thought of Raw down below. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy and good night.